Alright, welcome to another video. I'm sorry that, by the way, I don't have the capacity or neither the, like, yeah, let's point it out, like, skill, to be honest, by using the Share Factory program on PS5 to cut in many clips in videos. Sometimes you can, like, cut off clips and stuff, but, I'm not a YouTuber that actually puts in many clips, for, like, showing you diametrically differently things. Like, you know, these YouTubers that say, like, imagine this, and they show like a video how cool something is, and then they say in relativism to this, or like in a metaphoric way to this, and then they show another video. You know what I mean? Like, you all guys watched different shorts and stuff like that. So I'm sorry that I can't deliver that to you. I will try to download some of the old Overwatch cinematics and old Overwatch shorts. And we'll try to blend them in the video and explain what I mean. But yeah, here I am. I watched a couple videos about like the former lore that goes on in Overwatch right now, and it has come to my like merely interest, or like, yes, to my kind of like prime focused interest at the moment, since Destiny 2 is kind of like getting his like its last update, and like the stuff that we can do in the game right now is basically the same that I've been doing for the last 4 years and 11k hours of my lifetime, which was quite enjoyable at some occasions and at some times, but that's not the focus of this video. My focus is on Overwatch, so let's get straight with it. I've made a video a while back, I think. I don't know which one it was, because I literally should rewatch my own videos sometimes, because like maybe I forgot something. But yeah, about the Overwatch-Lore, and that some people under this video kind of quoted that, like, of course there's a new team working on the Overwatch-Lore, and expanding the universe that we all kind of take part in by playing the game in the first place. Some of these people I've messaged on Discord on various servers, like other people like me that have watched plenty of shows over the last literally, like, let's say 20 years basically, because I was born 1997. I'm 28 by the time of recording. I'm getting 29 in 1 month, so with that being said, I've watched plenty of shows in all my life, like Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., The Legend of Korra, Avatar, The Last Airbender, Vampire Diaries, The Originals, Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, Navy CIS, Navy CIS LA, American Dragon, the gummy bears on Disney, like you know what I mean, like all the Disney shows, like Mickey Mouse Wonder House, and Yu-Gi-Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh 5Ds, Yu-Gi-Oh GX, Naruto Shippuden, yeah, like plenty of shows, like literally plenty of shows, like Legend of the Seeker, for example, too. Yeah, you get my point. I've watched a lot of shows and a lot of movies too, by the way. So with that being said, I'm gonna be honest right now. If I say something about a certain aspect, if it comes down to lore, for example, right? If it comes down to analyzing the lore, how good or how bad it is, or like what kind of potential had been lost, or like how good something was back then and how trash something is right now, or like how some characters are pretty well written and while other characters are so absolutely devastatingly bad written that you kind of just want to vomit right where you literally stand, then my opinion isn't just my own opinion, it's an opinion that many people would literally agree on, because these people have watched the same stuff that I do, know how good character development looks like, and what kind of like good points for character development in the first place are, and how to actually point them out and to name them upon certain characters to kind of further argument and kind of hold a specific point at the argumentation that what you said is, yeah, like right is just like, yeah, it describes it pretty good, like being right, so to say. And I know many people have also quoted me under a couple of my videos that I'm sometimes a bit arrogant, though. But this video isn't me going against one specific person or against the minority of people that disagree with me on some terms. This video is about the Overwatch lore, and this video is about me as someone that finds interests in fictional works and in fictional franchises and loves to consume the lore, to dive into the lore, and kinda enjoys like living through that and watch the characters interact with each other, and is thrilled to see where certain things go and how certain things develop with like certain characters in specific, like Doom, Genji, Hanzo, Illari, Ash, for example, Winston, Anna, Soldier, Reaper, like all these people, right? But yeah, this is like me right now saying, and I've made a video about that already, which I haven't released, by the way. I literally just see this right now, watching on my own PC on YouTube Studios. I've made a video about Freya, I think, how like she's kind of pretty poorly and badly written, and going about the Overwatch lore, I should try to kind of examine and to kind of give you an example what my standpoints are and how you can like encounter, or like how you can note, like how you can literally clearly say that that is a bad character writing, or like that's a bad character by writing and that is a good character by writing, and to point out maybe I'm gonna be literally honest right now. None of the Overwatch 1 characters that we had was, I'm gonna be honest, was poorly written. Like all the Overwatch 1 characters are, like in my eyes, like all are pretty well written and pretty good written. So the only example that I can give you guys, so that like kind of everybody gets the standpoint of myself in this video, is if I put up two characters that have been released in Overwatch 2 and are released in Overwatch right now. I don't include the new hero because about Shion I don't know that much. I haven't seen her lore much, to be honest, and I don't know much about her, so like that's a different standpoint. The two heroes, from my point of view, that I will point up are the prime example of good character writing. Okay, like prime sounds a bit arrogant, but like yeah, like good character writing and bad character writing. And I would start off with the good character writing, which in my eyes, I know that many people, like, or some people will disagree, but some people will also agree with me. Good character writing is Illari in Overwatch 2. She is like a former training indie warrior girl that was dedicating her life towards serving her people, like a, so to call, like altruistic way of living, like putting your own desires down to serve others and find joy in helping others and like getting recognized and being like respected, and yeah, like all these things that come with this kind of lifestyle basically. She trained since young age, like Kiriko did, for example, and when she was old enough and when she was ready to join, getting augmentations, like literally advanced stuff attached, added, put on, like added and attached to her body, basically. I mean, you guys all have maybe probably watched the cinematic when she was like literally ready to join the Inti Warriors, something which is, by the way, still in conspiracy inside the Overwatch lore itself. What actually happened the day that she got her powers was going horribly wrong. She released a solar flare out of her body that was so devastatingly powerful that it literally disintegrated and disintegrated every Inti Warrior that was at place when the ceremony of her becoming an Inti Warrior took place. And by the way, I'm gonna want to point this right now, because like this is something in Overwatch that has been drawn to my attention. The Overwatch lore is so stupid at the moment at so many occasions that I barely believe that some people with a decent amount of intellect are writing the story in the first place. I mean, we see in the cinematic where she receives the power, the people that stand there, like literally downstairs inside a big hall, like for example, like in a concert role, okay, so that everybody right now is on the same, um, yeah, same stuff that I am, okay, like Ilari receives her powers while she is like standing inside this machine, and people are standing around her, even downstairs, and are like kinda technically, you know, like watching her and are like celebrating what is actually happening. And the biggest inconsistency right now that everybody that watches, like maybe for example the critical drinker that like kind of questions certain stuff in movies and shows, this is me right now questioning like some minor details that maybe nobody else kind of considered, but people that care about lore do consider these certain things, because these certain things make lore more detailed, and this is one of the signs that people care about the stuff that they write inside fictional franchises. Because if they wouldn't care, if they wouldn't write detailed stuff, people would like think, oh, it's it's another story, bro. Like I've seen so many before. Oh, I just want to play the game. I don't care what's going on around it. And with these people, you can't build a franchise, by the way. I made a whole video about casuals in the first place, but that's not the place right now. Let's go back to Ilari. The details are that I, for myself, don't think that, like Ilari said, that the Inti warriors were protecting her people in the village in Peru, in like Runesapi, and that the Inti warriors are home to Peru, like in the Overwatch-Lore. That's what the Overwatch-Lore says. So my asking point right now to Blizzard lore-wise is Ilari's village the only village that has this kind of scientific power to use the power of the sun? Aren't there other villages? Aren't there other villages in the country of Peru, like next to Runesapi, for example, that maybe also use this power or have like similar technology, and the Inti warriors built them as well? Are they like some people that have retired from the Inti warrior program and are still in knowledge how to use this power and maybe can rebuild the stuff with Ilari, or can teach Ilari, or like you get the point. Like you can't tell me that every single warrior was there at the ceremonic, like, and literally died just because Ilari got her powers. Like this is the only flaw inside of the Ilari lore that I, as someone that again has watched so many shows, and movies over the years, needs to point out before we continue. As well as like the possibility that maybe again like some other retired former Inti warriors are still out there, like maybe traveling around the world like Ilari does right now, or stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like that they go on certain missions, maybe that they try to learn other things, or that they have like kinda expelled themselves from the Inti warrior cult and maybe traveled around the world, or like maybe like also someone of them joined Overwatch. Like we don't even know, because they don't literally examine and kinda further the lore into specific like areas or into specific strings. Like, you know, like a spider that woves its web around like certain triangles, or like a certain like circle shaped stuff, for example. And Overwatch people are like spiders that put on a web on one point, put it into another point, but then they stop. They don't continue like drawing circles and circles and conclude it. They just do one string of web into one way, and that's it. And people who do that, while they have a fictional franchise like Overwatch in their claws, in my eyes, I must say this right now, pretty honest, are pretty degenerate, pretty stupid, and pretty retarded. That's literally what I want to say right now. But let's continue with Ilari. We got driven away a bit. I'm sorry, by the way, for that. Yeah, when Ilari kinda woke up from the solar flare that she kinda released, so to say, and realized what she kinda had done, or like what kinda had happened at the ceremony, she kinda broke down in pain, in self-guilt and grief of the loss that she had just encountered. She never concluded what actually happened, and this, by the way, what I pointed out a bit earlier. what I pointed out a bit earlier about that you don't put something to conclusion. We don't know what maybe had happened to the machine, like that maybe someone had sabotaged it, or like by the way, like in the Soldier comic, Soldier pointed out that maybe someone has sabotaged the Swiss headquarters when Overwatch got attacked, and Ilari, or like someone, like I think it was Soldier or Ilari in the comic, if I read it correctly in German and English, that one of the two things, that someone sabotaged the machine that gave Ilari a power, and that it was like an accident to actually cause major damage to the Inti Warrior cult, because like they were pretty powerful people basically. But yeah, Ilari like is driven by self-guilt and by by self-blaming herself for what happened, and that she still dedicates her life to protect the people that she loves and protect the community that she's part of. And again, like drives her own self-desires, like finding answers a bit, or like getting help from other people. She drives all these desires away to just get up herself and kind of, like how she even said it herself, she gets up to make good for what she has done, basically. And a character that doesn't has self-motivation to get his desires, it doesn't literally do anything in his power without any help by anybody else, like a Mary Sue in like Rey Skywalker basically in Star Wars, okay? Like Ilari isn't like a Rey Skywalker. I literally watched a video where someone literally pointed out hero and character lore stuff in Overwatch a couple months ago. I think around December actually, like yeah, a couple months ago is pretty wild to say, but yeah, like around December I counted a video where someone was kinda like drawing a line between Baptiste and Ilari and how good lore works and how bad lore works, or like how good character writing is kinda looking in Overwatch and how bad character lore, and he was putting a bit blame on Ilari, saying that she's a Mary Sue, and I like literally us watch so many shows and movies. I'm gonna need to heavily disagree with that, but yeah, that's the point that we have right now. At the current state of lore, Ilari was visited by Soldier, as far as I know, at least a couple times. Not multiple times, but a couple times. He offered her to bring her to Overwatch, so she kinda can join them and gets a bit of protection. Soldier has even told Ana Amari, who is kinda with Soldier and leading Overwatch at the moment, to kind of take care of Ilari and watch out for like maybe Talon gooners that are maybe after Ilari and try to kind of do stuff to her. Moira even took notice of what Ilari and Soldier kind of did, and I don't think that Moira is kind of after Ilari, because she knows that Ilari is very powerful. And even if Moira had like people on her side that kind of would attack Ilari, the major devastating power that Ilari can release against these people would actually not be helpful for what Moira is lore-wise up to, with like scientifically researching and kind of trying to bring humanity forward. That's what Moira is always about. I love Moira, by the way. 2k hours on this hero in 2018 to today. 2k hours. Pretty much time on Moira I spent in the game. Lore-wise, it's pretty cool to see Moira advancing forward as well, but I don't think personally, if I look on Ilari, that Moira is after Ilari to kind of, I don't know, like punish her or to make any bad kind of driven motives against her. We will see where the Overwatch lore goes, by the way, but that's just my standpoint right now. It's a bit shame in my eyes that Overwatch has expanded the lore right now, but that still so many old characters aren't receiving any scientific or like any advanced like lore strings, literally how I already put it out, like any further lore strings going into certain directions. Yeah, that's it for Ilari, because we still need to wait where her lore goes. And to draw the line about bad character writing in my eyes, or like in the people eyes that know how good character writing looks like and good character development looks like, we need to examine Freya a little bit more. Because Freya is like Sojourn and like Vendetta, a hero, like a girl. Okay, let's say girl, a woman, whatever. Sojourn Freya and Soldier of Freya and Vendetta are the prime example what happens when you let delusional women take action on writing DEI, diversity, equity, inclusive characters into the lore of a fictional franchise. That's the result. A character like Freya, Vendetta, or Soldier. What do I mean by that? To go to Freya's lore first, Freya is the daughter of... Bro, how do you say that in English? I only know the German word. She's like, in English, like a diplomat. A diplomat's daughter of like her mother, of course, like her mother is a diplomat for Norway. And she is like working for the Norway government and is going to other countries. As far as I have read the lore on Freya, Freya studied crime and psychology. I think like in German, yeah, in German it's called psychology. She studied psychology and later was up to like doing a more practical than theoretical work. If it comes down to certain aspects of her life. She found joy in helping people, and joined the Norway army, and later joined an Overwatch like strike team rescue with Emre, not with, but under Emre Sarioglu that was introduced into the game a couple months ago. So, with that being said, so far so good. There's nothing bad about Freya. She finds joy in helping people. She has no self-desires, which is totally fine. And she like doesn't even handle everything her own. She still has like a mentor figure in Emre who like kind of gives her props for her work and kind of tells her that what she's doing is good. And that she can keep up and she can be proud of herself and what she has accomplished. Everything good so far, nothing bad so far. Pretty good character design. But some other things are a bit more devastating because if we go a bit forward to the day that Overwatch was kind of disbanded by the ITC. I don't know what the ITC is. I haven't watched the Overwatch-Lore that far to know what ITC actually stands for. I've just witnessed the three letters in some character lore, like ITC, like Jack Morrison's lore or Anna Amari's lore and Reinhardt's lore, I think as well. The ITC disbanded Overwatch, and some people were like looking for blaming figures in Overwatch and blamed Overwatch for certain failures that have been done in the past. And of course, like people always blame people if people always blame certain stuff or certain people if like literally devastating things or like bad things happen in the world. That's totally understandable. That's totally okay. But Overwatch was like S.H.I.E.L.D., for example. Like, literally, Overwatch is like S.H.I.E.L.D. in Marvel, for example. And when Hydra kind of disrupted S.H.I.E.L.D. from within, of course, for everything that Hydra under the symbol of S.H.I.E.L.D. did was kind of blamed on S.H.I.E.L.D. itself, which S.H.I.E.L.D. wasn't responsible. And that's technically the same what kind of Overwatch had witnessed in its own lore in the Overwatch-Lore itself. So we can kind of draw some similarities and kind of see where like some inspirations maybe for the Overwatch-Lore itself had been drawn from Marvel, I guess. And to go back to Freya then was like witnessing Emre Sarioglu. She even spends time with him in private, like she was brought to his home, to his parents. And like, yeah, like Emre's mother was telling Freya that like every guest of like and every friend of Emre is welcome, even the one so pretty, which is kind of okay in my eyes, like nothing bad here. But to go back to a certain point when Freya like sees Emre for like the last time until they're reunited in the current lore of Overwatch, Emre says to Freya a line that Emre also says in the game itself. He says that like never stop fighting for the good, it always pays off. Like that's what he says in German. I don't know if that's exactly what he says in English, but no matter what, I think you guys know what I mean, so just count on me with that one, okay? I'm sorry. Yeah, he like says like fight for the good, it pays off, it's always worth it. So, and that's the last thing a mentor figure said to the girl at the age of, what was her age? Like between the Overwatch lore from Overwatch 1, which is basically when this happened, to the Overwatch lore that we have today happened around 5 to 8 years. And considering Freya is based on Overwatch lore right now 35, that means that at the date, or like at the age that Emra was talking to Freya the last time, Freya was around 28 to 29, maybe 30. So then she got lost, then she saw some bounty hunting stuff in her local home, and like that like gives pretty much cash. And she had no purpose in the world, and the purpose that Overwatch gave her was gone, like a little fire that burns inside you. And by the way, I'm unemployed in real life too. I was a loyal guy at the workplace that I work, but some people doesn't like they don't see the value in loyalism, by the way, or like that they don't see how literally you tear yourself apart for these people. That's like another story in my real life, maybe one day, I don't know. But yeah, that's like what Freya goes in, and Freya is like walking then and realizing that she is done living for others, and that she's now, this like you hear me laughing right now, this is like where she decides to live for herself. And bro, like literally again, I have watched so many shows in my life, so many movies with character development, and I always bring one prime example in The Legend of Korra at the end of season 1, where Korra has lost her ability to bend the 3 prime elements that she could bend at the start of her show, which was fire, earth and water. And she lost the connection to these elements and was only able to bend air due to the events that took place in the first season of The Legend of Korra, right? So then she goes run away, or like not gonna away, she just like go into a cliff and sinks down, and everything that she thought that she had accomplished and everything that she tried to do and try to be a good avatar, like everything that she hoped she could do and could be and could become, was gone with the blink of an eye, and she needed to accept the reality, but she couldn't. And then she cried out. She reached the turning point, and then the spirit of Avatar Aang came around and said one of the most best lines that I've ever seen in my entire life in a fictional franchise show. And he said, and I quote, "When we reach our lowest points, we are open for the greatest changes of ourselves." That's what Aang said to Korra, at least like translated from German to English. And all that Freya does, like she doesn't even cry, she just realized, bro, I have nothing to do right now. I have no purpose in the world, but we need to draw a bigger picture so that everybody is on the same page as I am right now, okay? Freya is the daughter of a diplomat. She has a wealthy, rich family that she could go back to, and that maybe she could, I don't know, go into politics and do something like that. But no, she sees a bounty hunting prep, like a blackboard at a local police station, and she's like, bro, I'm done helping people. I might just want to live for myself right now. And we need to again, okay? So like, we need to go back to Avatar and to Korra and the mentor of Korra, which was Tenzin, the son of Aang, from Avatar The Last Airbender. And he was teaching her everything, and he even admitted at some point that he was too hasty, too fast with the teaching that he tried to give to Korra. That he needed to slow down and try to give another, like, different kind of like going onto the training methods that he was trying to give to Korra to lecture her, basically to make her a better avatar and stuff, and to train her to be an airbender and stuff like that. And considering Tenzin right now being Emre, with like in Overwatch as an original fraction being the teacher, the mentor person for Emre, like the mentor figure for Freya. The last thing that he said again was like, always fight for the good, it pays off and it's worth it. And Freya is like, she doesn't even remember these words. a good person, like a boy, for example, like some girls in Lore are also good written in some franchises, but like usually a boy would remember the words of his mentor and would do everything and sacrifice everything that he has to live up to these principles. Jon Snow in Game of Thrones is the prime example. He tries to live by the words of his, not biological, but like of his father, Ned Stark. The man who speaks the sentence should swing the sword. Those are the words that Jon Snow lives after, or like lives for. And to draw back to Freya, she doesn't even remember the words. She just goes and is like, bro, fuck it, I'ma just leave for myself right now. And I know I said this for the third time right now. Maybe some people would say right now, bro, this is not so big, there's not so much of a drama. This like, this is okay, understandable. Bro, let me say you something as someone, again, that has watched multiple shows and movies out there. And many people that do agree on the terms that I do, and I agree with many people on some terms about other character design, they will literally say you the same that I say right now. Like, a character written like Freya isn't a Mary Sue, but like, okay. The way that Freya captured 3 people and brought her to max is, even with military skill and with like some technology that she maybe possesses, is astonishing. If you see like this one big fighting woman that even Junker Queen said is kind of a tough one to Freya, because she know that Freya has captured her basically, Machete Betty. But like I for example don't know, like, and I've watched many movies and shows and I've seen many like spy girls or like military special trained girls in some shows and movies. Like what was this girl again? Hannah, the Saoirse Ronan and the Amazon Prime show, who is Hannah. And even they have like human physical limits, what they can't and what they can accomplish. And to a certain degree, I will never understand how Freya was able to capture like Machete Betty, for example. Even with like some higher advanced technology, there would literally still be some how to say it, like some limitations that Freya has. But we just get introduced to Freya, and this is the point that I pointed out very, very early about DI characters. Freya gets introduced and immediately is brought upon us as a powerhouse, as a girl that gets stuff done, that has kind of no limitations and that has no boundaries to kind of like where her limits are and what like she can't do. I mean, she literally has lines pointing in the game towards Mauga, saying that the bounty is on what's Mauga's name again? Mauga Malosi. That on Mauga Malosi's head is still a bounty and that she could turn him in. And bro, like literally, I mean everybody right now, everybody that has seen Mauga lore-wise and has seen Mauga in-game would literally agree that in a combat scenario where Freya would try to capture Mauga, Freya will literally get beaten the hell up by Mauga. like literally, bro. I don't even try like to imagine what a fight would look like, but we need to get based down to earth again. We need to get based down to earth. We live in a society right now, or we live in a state of like lore writing, of character writing, of people that are hired by DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion standards, that have no intention in writing good characters. They want to press every real life agenda of these like 3 letters: DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion. They want to press all these agendas into the characters that they write. Sojourn, Vendetta, and Freya are the prime examples of these 3 letters, basically. And I mean, I made my points right now. Everybody has watched the videos so far probably will agree or won't agree. That's up to you guys. I can't force you to agree with me. That's not primarily my mission. I just wanted to point out some good character design, some bad character design. And with that being said, I don't know where the Overwatch-Lore is going. I probably will try to make more Overwatch-Lore videos and like how I will predict the future. Because like some people out there, like the Omnic Post has like put up some stuff in the past that I was like, bro, are you like taking substances, or are you like even listening to yourself, or are you like, is there some kind of point, or like your predictions, like how do you make them up? I mean, yeah, that's my point of view, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm hyped for Season 3, getting Ilari's Mythic skin, finally, after waiting for so long. And, yeah, like, Overwatch is a great community, Overwatch is a great game. Rank is a fever sometimes in my eyes, but the Overwatch-Lore, I love it, and I hope I want it to succeed. And that Netflix is in talk with Blizzard of creating an Overwatch show, maybe. Was kind of the biggest point to driving me to upload this video. And from my point of view, from my standard points right now, I am someone, again, that has watched multiple shows and movies over the last 20 years. I count myself among the people like Ryan Kinnell Outpost, Geeks and Gamers, Critical Drinker, and many others out there. That love to see good character writing, good character development in movies, shows, and in games. And I am just here to point these certain things out, to kind of try to give you guys a better example, a bigger, like, drawn metaphorically image that you can kind of follow what I'm talking about. I will try to upload a more detailed video of Freya. I think it's still on my YouTube. I need to look in it if everything I had to say is in it. Or I will probably redo it. I don't know. I will maybe also make a Vendetta video. I made one already, but I rewatched it and was kind of like, maybe the lore of her is like still in progress. And indeed it was. Like when she attacked Gibraltar and stuff like that, the lore was continuing, and that was kind of missing out. Because Vendetta is, in my eyes, and I say this for the end of the video right now, Vendetta, in my eyes, is the prime example of what happens when you let delusional people write certain characters that have certain kind of real-life issues, and are literally blend stupid and like do certain things that doesn't make any sense. You will hear it, like literally, when I upload my Vendetta video, you will hear my standpoints, my target points, so to say. And with that being said, thank you guys. And yeah, Sojourn video, Vendetta video, Freya video, more detailed, is in progress. By time of recording, I will get into that in the next couple hours. At least into one of the girls. I think I will start with Freya and do Vendetta and Sojourn afterwards. I also had planned a Juno video, because Juno is the prime example of what happens when you let like some people that are sniffing ketamine maybe like write a character that is so stupid, but like Juno on its own is another big tough act of like recording and assuming and asserting law and make a judgment video about like how to not write a character as well. But I literally grant you for sure that a video to, again, Vendetta, Freya and Sojourn is in makings. I won't make a video about Junker Queen. I think that she is also a DI character, but since she doesn't do anything on her own, and she doesn't like literally beat everybody on her own, and she doesn't actually do anything she can without any help and has no flaws, I think she still is a pretty good written character. If you guys, by the way, have any suggestions what I should talk about in like character or like Overwatch specific lore, maybe that I had my eyes on and had my brain on, I will gladly do that. And with that being said, I'm sorry if I speak too fast sometimes. I have ADHD in real life. I lose track sometimes of what I was talking about, and I'll always give my best to say what I have to say, to speak my mind. And with that being said, I thank you guys very much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day, evening or night, and I hope I see you guys in the next one, and keep playing. And if you enjoy the lore of Overwatch, you are free to do so, but nonetheless, the Overwatch lore right now is kinda dumpster fire, and I hope that like some bit gets a bit better in the future. If not, it was a nice franchise, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, I said everything I have to say. Thank you guys very much, and peace out.
Highlight des Spiels.
Du Wahrheit hat Konsequenzen.